There shall be light. There's Maverick. Hi, Maverick. Hi, Bubba's. Hi, Bubba's. Hey, Maverick. Come here, baby. Maverick. Mm-mm. Look at Maverick getting so big. Hi, babies. There's Maverick. Come on, Maverick. You need to come take a bath. What is that? That's in my yard. Here we got handsome man in a tub taking a bath. There's our big boy. There's our big boy. Maverick hanging out while we're doing chores. Yes, baby. I'm live, just so you know. Okay. Anyways, Maverick and Handsome Man are getting used to our property. Them getting attached to our gaggle is gonna be a minute. Yes, that's right, Maverick. It's gonna be a minute because they're newcomers. And we're right at the beginning of breeding season. Yes, we are. We're right at the beginning of breeding season. Yes, we are. So it's going to be a little while. Now, the younger ones are going to be their best bet for building a relationship. He's curious about my daughter in the background. You can see her over there in the porch. And Handsome Man is over here in a tub having a good old time. And the rest of the gaggle is right here on the field. Hi, babies. Uh. 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 Come here, babies. See, Maverick follows. Handsome Man does too usually, but he's currently taking a bath. Maverick. Careful. Careful, Maverick. You don't want to get too close, baby. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Come on, Maverick. Come on, Maverick. Come on. See, Pretty Bird's going into mating behavior. He's getting territorial. So we gotta be careful. Huh, Maverick? That's right. Now, he mostly seems to act like that when I'm outside. When it's just on camera, he doesn't do much of that. So, as it to the bars. Come on, babies. You can see the other bars right down the edge of the gaggle, and they actually do all right throughout the day. There's the occasional little picking on, all that stuff, but that's normal within a gaggle of geese, as long as nobody's actually getting hurt or actually getting beat up. The bars are greeting each other. See how their heads go? This is how the barhead geese greet each other. Now they're taking off because Pretty Bird got closer, and they learn. Right now they're at the bottom of the pecking order because they're the youngest, along with Dodo right here. But Dodo's not much for standing up for herself. This is Maverick right here. And Maverick definitely wants to make friends, but needs to be careful. Maverick. Maverick, don't be stupid. He wants to fly and play with everybody else. But the other Canada geese, they can tell, even though they all appear to look the same. Hi, Pretty Bird. How you doing, Mr. Attitude? Mr. Adamitude? Mr. Adamitude, what you doing? Huh? Yeah, you're being a butt? You're being a butt to everybody again? Huh? Are those hormones kicking in? Hi, Charlie. Hi, Blue. You guys ready to egg Pretty Bird on? Yeah, you are. You two are little devil women, you know that? Yeah, you egging him on every time. Pretty Bird, you should really consider taking Charlie as your main queen. Because Layla really doesn't care. She's somewhere over there in the background having a good old time. She doesn't care. Layla, Layla, Layla. Layla, Layla, Layla. All right. Maverick. I don't want Pretty Bird hurting you. I want you to have more time to get to know the dynamic of the gaggle before I let you start making your own decisions. Hey, Maverick is new. We took him on recently. He's still a baby, as you guys can hear by his voice. His voice is very childlike, but Pretty Bird doesn't seem very angry with him. I wonder if he kind of just accepts him because he's a Canada. I don't know yet. His He's not sure. Nope, he's not sure. He's not sure. The other Canada males are sure, though. They don't accept him yet. Females don't seem to be very rejecting, but these two are my two mature females this year. Pretty bird. He's not doing full aggression on him, so that's good. He's not going full meanie on him. All right, pretty bird, that's enough. That's enough. That's enough. Come on, let's go. Go on, that's enough. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. Oh, watch out. Walk away. He's got an attitude tonight. Let's go, Maverick. No, it's okay. Come on. See, our two newcomers, Maverick right here and Handsome Man right here, have to learn the dynamics of the gaggle first. And they'll figure it out with time. Come on, babies. Come on. Now, these guys are both pet geese, raised as pet geese. They don't have... Now, we don't know... Come on, Handsome. Don't be a butt. Come on, Handsome. Handsome is focused on humans as being his gaggle, very much so, whereas Maverick had some experience with geese when he was a baby. Hi back there in the comments. But Handsome Man right here, he has some, we don't know his history. He was a stray goose, a stray gander actually, who was spotted at a neighborhood pond all the way down in Houston. I'm in Texas, but I'm in North Texas. So he was spotted at a random pond down in Houston where he did not seem to want anything to do with the other birds, and he was highly obsessed with human females. So most likely, what we're assuming his history is, hi, Handsome. Yes, hi. Hi, handsome boy. Hi. Love you too, baby girl. So what we assume, yes, it's the chat. Thank you. What we assume what's going on with him is that he most likely was raised by hand by a female human, that he did not have other birds around, and maybe some chickens around or something. He doesn't seem to react very strongly towards chickens. He also doesn't seem to be scared of them or anything like that. But most likely what we think is that he's probably somewhere around 2 or 3 years old, that he probably got a little aggressive towards the male in the home, as in the human male, because that's the behavior he's presenting and that he's been presenting since he's been found. When he was initially found, people were just kind of trying to bring him food and stuff out at the pond. And the number one behavior that they noticed is that he's very much attached to females, but he doesn't want anything to do with human men. And he actually gets kind of bitey and nippy and a little bit aggressive towards them, almost territorial behavior towards humans. So with Maverick is, we know his history. Maverick is from a legal breeder. Maverick was raised by a family. He was raised indoors. He's about 9 months old now. He would be about 9 months old now, approximately. He's been with us for about a month. It just didn't work out for them with him because multiple reasons. But the main reason was that Maverick did come to them when he was about 2 months old, so he was already much older. So the imprint between gosling and human, since he was already fully grown, was really not established much. And therefore, Maverick ended up not being super friendly towards humans, even though he is imprinted on humans, wants to be around humans, and humans is what he knows as his gaggle. It's still not... he didn't have that full imprint to the point of being a potentially more tame goose, and they have younger children, so they were looking for a home for him. He also did not like the goose diapers, and did tend to rip them off, and since he lived indoors, that was of course not very nice. Because that was messy. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Pet geese are a thing for some people, but different people have different opinions about that. Now with Maverick, he's a sweetheart, but he's very young. We believe him to be male based on his behavior, his body language, his temperament, but we could be wrong. A breeder had not figured out his gender, so We'll see what happens. And at this age, it's a little bit harder to tell what they are because, well, their voice is not fully developed yet. As you guys can hear, it still sounds a little bit like a baby. So you don't have that definite sound behind it, like that more higher pitched or deeper sound that you get with the adults. With a handsome man, he's 100% focused on humans, and quite literally, hi, handsome. Come here, handsome. Come here, handsome. Hi. You guys see this behavior? Hi. Hi, handsome. Hi, handsome. Hi. That's a good boy. So that behavior right there with that kind of exclaiming that it's doing, erecting his head and kind of putting his tail up a little bit, it's kind of like a show off that a gander would do to his mate when he approaches her. So it looks like Handsome Man believes that human females are his ladies. So we need to teach him that he's a goose, that he's a gander, and that he should be looking at goose females as being his partner or being his mate. This is actually a lot more common than people think it is. A lot of times people will get a little gosling. Sometimes they get 2 eggs or get 2 goslings and one of them passes away. So it's not even something where it was intended to be just one goose. But sometimes they raise up one and they don't have other geese around. They don't have other birds around. And especially in male geese, there seems to be this phenomenon where they will imprint on their human as a parent initially, but as they grow and once they mature, because instinctively these animals mate for life. These animals are very, very, very much programmed to want to bond with a mate, to want to have offspring, to want to literally mate for life. And family is very important to these animals. It's a very strong instinct for them. So a lot of times what happens in these cases is that these ganders will imprint on their human as being like a mate imprint. Now, this does not involve any of the other stuff, obviously. It's just that they become insanely attached to their human and become very protective of this human. And it's commonly a female human. They can attach to a male human. Really, both of these scenarios happen. And when this happens, like I said, they tend to become aggressive towards towards usually the opposite sex. So they usually start becoming aggressive towards male humans, which they just don't like any other human getting close to who they see as being theirs and theirs to protect and theirs to take care of. And this has nothing to do with the mating itself or with the producing offspring. It just has to do with them wanting that companionship and that closeness. See, he's going to want to protect me from the cat. And he's only been around me for about 2 weeks or so. And he's already super protective of me, my daughter. As a domestic goose, domestic geese generally consider multiple females their mates. They tend to have a queen, but they tend to have multiple females that they imprint on and that they protect and that they generally will produce offspring with if it's geese females. And with him, we need to get him to understand that he needs to look at geese to be his mates, not humans. As you guys can see, he's completely tame. And this is something that happens. And as adorable as it can seem to have, or as nice or fun it can seem to have a super tame goose that will cuddle with you and follow you everywhere and speak softly and be really nice and be protective and all this stuff. The problem with this is that this is actually not something that's going to make the goose happy in the long run. Because this goose right here, this gander, he's gonna want babies. And he's going to feel sad. There's something called nest depression, as in a nest that birds sit on, and depression as in getting depressed. And it's called nest depression. And these birds can get nest depression when they go multiple seasons, even just one season, without having any young, without finding a mate. And these animals are very, very, very strongly fixated on wanting a mate and offspring. This is just their nature. And that's what makes them happy. It's fulfilling for them. It's what they need to do. So he wants to protect me from Maverick as well, wants to keep Maverick away, most likely because he sees him either as a threat, because he doesn't really know other geese, or because He sees Maverick as competition because Maverick, we believe, is most likely a male. But and Maverick likes to hang out with me as well. But Maverick's also curious about the other geese. And I believe this is because Maverick actually did spend the first 2 months around other geese of his life. So there has been that initial imprint for him where he did learn other geese. He did learn to be around other geese. He did communicate with other geese when he was younger. And he did have that bond with his own version of a gaggle. But we will have to see what happens with all of this. Right, Maverick? Hi, Maverick. Hi, Maverick. Hi. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. I know. Handsome man. You don't need to be so jelly. You don't need to be so jelly. You're okay. I know. See? Now he's right next to me again. And he'll keep doing that. And he'll try to protect me. Because he thinks if he keeps doing that, it proves himself a good mate. Which is not wrong in their world. This is how they would prove to a female that they're worthy. They would do their best to protect her at all times, to constantly present themselves as being a worthy mate. And then they would do a little, it's a dance they do in the water where they dip their heads. And if the female responds, she will dip her head every time his head is up. And they do this for a longer period of time. It can be a couple of minutes. It can even be longer than that. It can even go on for like 10 minutes. Or it can be as short as like maybe a minute long. And at that point, if the female accepts, she will allow him to mate with her. And then they will mate for life. And they will raise babies together. And ganders in the goose world, they will go as far as adopting babies. Like, these animals are, geese are very, very, very fixated on family. They need that companionship. They want family. And if their mate passes away or if they die, even if you rip away a goose from a human that they're imprinted on strongly, that they're very, very close with, it can have an adverse effect. Like, they can become very depressed and they will mourn the loss of that human or their mate, the goose. And if a goose was mated to their mate for a very long time and they lose them, it can even result in depression so bad that they will lose their life to depression. So it's a very delicate matter when a goose loses their mate. Now, wilder geese, like geese with the wild instincts, like, for an example, Maverick, are going to have more of a push towards the instincts because, well, their instincts are still a lot more intact than those of the domestic geese. You guys can tell by kind of the body shape. Maverick is smaller, more aerodynamic, more linear. His wings are usually like body proportion size. The wings are larger, and just the face and the head, everything is more aerodynamic. Whereas the domestic geese are more bulky. They have extra fat. They're larger. And then they have different colorations of their feathers. And generally this is because we, for thousands of years, humans have been breeding geese and changing their appearance and how they grow and how they develop and how fast they develop so that humans can benefit from geese as livestock. So they've been raising them for different reasons. And this goes from everything. Well, main reason would be meat and for the feathers, for the down. So the feathers that you have underneath the large feathers. Come here, handsome. Hi, handsome. Come here, buddy. Yes, hi. Hi, handsome. Yes, hi, handsome. So underneath their feathers right here, you have these super, super soft feathers in here. And these are like, I mean, we're talking as soft as a bunny's feathers, right? And they have many layers of feathers. Like, they have a lot, very dense. And these feathers are used for, back in the day, they were used for putting in blankets, jackets, pillows, and such to help people stay warm. And then the larger feathers, so the flight feathers, the ones you see here that are on the longer part of the wing, those will be used for things like to create, what's it called? I think they're called quilts. Whatever. The way that people used to make pens, pencils out of feathers. Basically, what's that? And basically, every part of the goose was utilized back in the day. But nowadays, Geese are mainly kept for their meat and or for their egg production. So a lot of people nowadays will keep geese as pets. Maverick, come on, baby. They will keep geese as an animal that either produces meat, or people like me, for an example, who keep geese because they simply love geese. Geese are basically my favorite animal at this point. I love them. I think they're amazing animals. I think they're fascinating. Um, and they have a very negative stigma attached to them, especially Canada geese, so geese that are like maverick, and are believed to be insanely aggressive for no reason, which is really not true. So they have a really bad reputation, and part of the reason why I make these videos is to try to show people that geese can be very tame, that when they're not tame, when they're not nice to you, it's usually for a really good reason. Like, for an example, they're protecting their mate or their young or their nest, or their territory, and rightfully so when you think about it. In their experience, for the wild geese, for wild Canada geese, for an example, or snow geese, or any of those versions of wild geese that still live all over the US or in Europe, to the best of their knowledge, humans will shoot at them, kill them and their mates and their young, and steal their young, abduct their young. It's a common thing that humans will do. Steal their eggs is another common thing humans will do. So to them, we're just a common predator. Like to the wild geese, we're just another predator that they need to protect their family from. And when you think about it, it kind of makes sense. To their knowledge, based on their experience, we're acting like predators. Anyway, I figured I'd let you guys see the goosies, let you guys see an update on the goosies, let you guys see how they're doing. Maverick and Handsome Man are doing all right. Generally, when I first let them together, Handsome Man is a little standoffish, a little moody towards Maverick, but they are coexisting within a close dynamic, like with a closer, like less of a distance to each other often when they follow me around, and nothing bad happens during those moments. So, and the more we have that happen, the more likely to build a relationship. As I speak of it, Handsome Man's deciding to be a butt. And they always got to prove you wrong. Anyways, but yeah, the more that they're around each other without getting upset at each other, the more they're going to build a bond. And they're going to have to figure out their pecking order, but I am giving Maverick time to mature because Maverick is still a baby. Even though Maverick is 9 months old, regardless, these animals, Canada geese, even though they're fully grown by the time they're 8 weeks old, they are usually considered babies until they're about a year old. So these guys will actually still have their baby voice, as you can hear. Hi, Maverick. Hi. You can see how he's kind of got a high-pitched voice. He still has a baby voice going on because he's still young. And Canada geese will actually stay with their parents till they're about 12 months old at least. Somewhere between 10 and 12 months is the most likely age that they will stay with their parents. And then after that, they will start branching out more and exploring more and, you know, getting into other stuff more. Huh, Maverick? Yes. Anyway, I'm going to stop this live. Let the finder of this guy and the previous owner of this guy know that I made a little video of them. And I will see y'all later. Come on, babies. Come on. Handsome Man, be nice. It's okay, Maverick. Yes, handsome. Yes, Maverick. You're such a good boy. Yes, Maverick. Yes, yes. Let him go on the other side. There you go. See? Mama's got a right and a left. One side for each goosey. Huh? Handsome Man. Yeah. Maverick. Maverick. Hi, 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 hi. By the way, something that Canada geese do distinctively is that thing where they stick out their tongue when they're honking. Maverick, hi, 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 hi. Hi, 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 hi. What? What is it? Yes, Maverick. I know. Hi. Hi, Maverick. Nope. Handsome. Nice. Doofus. Maverick's not going to take me away from you, Goofy. Neither are the other 18 geese. Don't have to worry, dork. Anyways. Alright, I'm going to leave you all to it. I hope you guys have a good evening. I got to go ahead and finish up lockup now, so I'll see y'all next time. Good night.